What's up, Yankees faithful, and welcome back to the Yankees Chamber, your number one spot for all things New York Yankees on the New York Yankees News Network. I don't even know where to begin today, seriously. On one hand, you witness pure, unadulterated history, a moment you'll tell your kids about. On the other hand, you watch a game that makes you want to pull your hair out, a game we absolutely should have won, a game that we let slip right through our fingers. It is the classic New York Yankees experience, isn't it? 1 minute you are on top of the world, watching Aaron Judge etch his name next to the gods of this franchise, and the next you're staring at the screen in disbelief as the bats go silent and a very, very beatable Chicago White Sox team walks it off. We had a chance to win our 8th straight game. An 8th straight! Instead, we're left with a bitter 3-2 loss, a missed sweep, and a whole lot of questions heading into the most important stretch of the season. So today we're going to break it all down. We're going to celebrate the history, we're going to vent about the frustration, and we're going to look ahead at the gauntlet that could make or break our season. Let's get into it. All right, let's just rip the bandage off. This loss stings. It stings because it was completely avoidable. The offense, outside of one man, just decided not to show up to the park. How do I know? How about going 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position? How about stranding 10 runners in the bases? 10! You can't win baseball games like that. I don't care who you're playing. It started off so promising, but after the 3rd inning, nothing. The offense just dried up completely. And we had our chances. Oh, did we have our chances? Let's talk about the 6th inning. We get a pair of runners on with only 1 out. The momentum feels like it's shifting back our way. And then Anthony Volpe, my guy, lunges at a changeup out of the zone and bounces right into an inning-ending double play. A killer. Just a rally killer. But the real gut punch came in the 8th. This was the golden opportunity, the moment to seize the game. Amed Rosario gets a single. Jazz Chisholm Jr. and Volpe both draw walks. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. All the pressure is on the White Sox. And what happens? Ben Rice comes up and hits a little check swing tapper. A weak grounder that ends the inning, stranding all 3 runners. It was just absolutely agonizing to watch. All 3 ducks left on the pond. And the pitching, man. Luis Gil, we have to talk about him. His velocity was down again to start the game by about 3 to 4 miles per hour. It bit him in the 2nd inning when he hung a slider to Curtis Mead for a double. And then Will Robertson, a guy batting .056 on the year, lines a fastball for a game-tying double. That was the first extra base hit of Robertson's entire season. Of course, it was against us. To Gil's credit, he found his groove later. He battled, striking out 7 and looking dominant through the middle innings. But it's that one mistake in the 6th that hurts. A 1-2 slider that wasn't even a bad pitch, and Colson Montgomery drives it off the top of the wall in dead center for a game-tying solo home run. Then, Aaron Boone gets cute in the 8th. He brings in Tim Hill, the lefty, to face a couple of lefties. It works at first. He gets 2 groundouts. But then he leaves him in against a righty, Lenyn Sosa. And what happens? Sosa gets a sinker right down the middle and hits the go-ahead, game-winning solo home run. A frustrating end to a frustrating day. And to make it all worse, Mike Tauchman, a former Yankee, robbed Giancarlo Stanton of a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning with a leaping catch at the wall. It just felt like one of those days where nothing, absolutely nothing, was going our way. Okay, let's take a deep breath. Let's wash away that frustration for a minute, because something truly magical happened in this game that we cannot let the loss overshadow. Aaron Judge. In the very first inning, on a 0-2 count, Judge saw a cutter from Martin Perez, and he did what he does best. He crushed it, obliterated it. A 426-foot blast for his 43rd home run of the season. But this wasn't just another homer. This was number 358 off his career. And that number is so important. With that one swing of the bat, Aaron Judge tied the legendary, the iconic Yogi Berra for 5th place on the New York Yankees all-time franchise home run list. Let that sink in. The top 5 home run hitters in the history of this franchise had not changed since 1957. For decades, it has been an untouchable quintet: Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio, and Yogi Berra. And now, Aaron Judge has joined them. As Judge said himself, when you get a chance to tie one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Yankees in homers, it's pretty special. Manager Aaron Boone said it best: it's the company he belongs in. Boone even said when Judge got back to the dugout, he yelled out, "Yogi!" just to make sure Judge took a moment to appreciate what he'd done. And the crazy part is, he's not done. He's now just 3 home runs away from tying Joe DiMaggio for 4th all-time. We are watching one of the all-time greats, in his prime, climbing a list of gods. It was a historic day, and even in a loss, we have to celebrate that. So, what does this loss mean in the grand scheme of things? As we discussed, after yesterday's loss, our record now stands at 76 wins and 61 losses. We're in 2nd place in the AL East, 3 games behind the Blue Jays and just a half game ahead of the Red Sox. This brings us to the most important part of our season. The road ahead is a gauntlet, a 12-game stretch against 4 playoff caliber teams. But let's be perfectly clear, everything comes down to the games we have against our division rivals. We have 3 games coming up against the 1st place Blue Jays. We are looking right at the team we need to catch. These are not just regular games, these are absolute 100% must-win games if we want to grab that division title. Winning that series could shrink that 3-game gap in a hurry. Losing it could be the nail in the coffin for our division hopes. And as if that's not enough pressure, we also have 3 games against the Boston Red Sox, the team that is right on our heels for the top wildcard spot. We have to win that series to create some breathing room. We cannot let our biggest rival leapfrog us in the standings this late in the season. The games against the Astros and Tigers are important, yes. We need to win those too. But these head-to-head matchups with Toronto and Boston, they are everything. This is our chance to control our own destiny. Win these games, and we are in the driver's seat for a division crown. It's as simple and as difficult as that. Now, for a bit of lighter news. Despite the pressure, it looks like the team is staying loose. For their flight to Houston, the team had a dress-up theme: Cowboys. Jason Dominguez was apparently the star of the show, strutting into the clubhouse in jeans and a cowboy hat, tipping his cap to everyone. It's a little goofy, but you love to see that camaraderie heading into a tough road trip. And speaking of the road trip, it looks like reinforcements are coming. With rosters expanding in September, we're expecting 2 key players to be activated from the injured list. First is pitcher Ryan Yarbrough, who hasn't pitched since June 18th. He's expected to join the bullpen to give us some much-needed depth. The other is outfielder Austin Slater, who we got at the trade deadline. He's been out with a hamstring strain, but is expected back this week. This is huge, because the biggest reason we got Slater is for his ability to hit left-handed pitching, which will be critical down the stretch and into the playoffs. So there you have it, folks. A frustrating loss, a historic milestone, and a nail-biting playoff race that all comes down to these next few weeks. The emotions are all over the place. That's being a Yankees fan, right? But I want to know what you think. How are you feeling about these massive series against the Jays and Sox? Do you think the team has what it takes to rise to the occasion? Let me know everything down in the comments below. As always, thank you for tuning in to the Yankees Chamber first episode. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button for the New York Yankees News Network so you don't miss a single update. We'll be back to cover the series against the Astros. Until then, stay strong and let's go Yankees.